Benjy Rivas is a local musician and radio host for NPR. Today we're going to hear about his story. And what's your name?
My name's Benjy Rivas.
Cool. And your profession?
I'm a musician.
Cool. What inspired you to start playing music?
When I was a kid, and we'd be in Texas, and my dad and my uncles would play music and sing real late into the night. And so that just got me. You know, I just loved being there with them, and I loved the music. It was live music all the time. My uncle played, I'd watch what he would do on his guitar, and I just always paid attention to what he was doing on his guitar.
So when did you start playing yourself?
I started playing instruments when I was 12. I started by playing harmonica.
Oh, cool.
And then what happened was my parents bought a piano, and they were going to have my youngest brother get piano lessons. And I was jealous. I was mad because I wanted piano lessons. And one day, my mom said, "Here's a check. I want you to give it to the piano tuner when he comes today because I'll be at work." I said, "Okay." So the piano tuner came, and he tuned the piano, and I gave him the check, and he left. And when my mom came home that evening at dinner, she said, "Did the piano tuner guy come?" And I said, "Yes, I gave him the check." She said, "What did he say?" I said, "He said I should be getting piano lessons." So they signed me up for piano lessons. I lied to them about that because I wanted piano lessons so bad. So they sent me to piano lessons.
Cool.
I got kicked out though.
Oh no, what'd you do?
I started playing like boogie woogie music. They were learning classical. One day I was showing one of the students next to me. I said, "Check this out," and I started playing the Munsters theme. Do 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 do. And then the teacher stopped, and she's like, "What are you doing? Get out!" And she called my mom and kicked me out of class.
So where'd you go from there?
Well, that lady that kicked me out of class, she had a daughter at that time that was in college. So to me, that was, you know, a grown woman. But she played guitar, and she said, "Well, I'll teach him guitar then." So she started showing me some things on guitar.
From there. What's your favorite part of the music making process?
My favorite part, now it depends. If you're talking about if I'm learning songs, I'm learning cover tunes to play, then I guess my favorite part is picking the instrument I'm going to use. But if I'm writing original songs, if I'm doing original songs, then my favorite part of that process is actually writing the lyrics, because I love writing lyrics.
Let's see. What's your favorite type of music to play?
I gotta say my favorite type is norteño,
What kind is that?
Mexican music.
Oh, cool.
And second to that would be then like bluegrass and that kind of stuff. And they're kind of similar, those types of music.
How would you describe the feeling you get when performing in front of an audience?
Oh, there's nothing like it. I'm not the same person. The person you're talking to right now, you wouldn't recognize me if I was on stage. I am completely different. I become this entertainer. It's amazing. It's better than drugs.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you have any musical heroes?
Mm-hmm.
Or people that inspire you?
Mm-hmm. I'd say I was inspired by Johnny Cash, Bill Monroe. When I was a kid, I liked Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, Uriah Heep. So I was really into real hard rock, and Hank Williams was another one of my heroes. So I was either extreme country or extreme rock. So that's a pretty wide range of heroes, but that's who they were.
That's cool though. It's nice to be inspired by
Such
different types of
right,
music.
such diverse music.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, we already did that. Do you have a favorite instrument to play?
Yeah, I love playing violin.
Oh.
That's my favorite instrument.
Do you have a reason behind that, or just?
The thing about the violin, here's what, I don't know if that's why it's my favorite instrument, but that's the instrument that when I picked it up, I just could play it. Yeah, I was free. I read a book, a story in a magazine. The guy's name is Benny Martin. He was a real famous fiddle player. And he said, no, it was Chubby Wise, and he said, the thing about playing violin that makes it so easy, all you have to do is pull the bow across the strings and start moving your fingers like crazy. And I started playing that way. It came to me. I mean, within 6 weeks, I was playing on stage.
Wow.
I got a violin when I was 22. That's the first violin I ever got in my life, and I could play it. I never took lessons.
Wow. That's pretty cool. And we talked about performing earlier. Do you perform with like a lot of other people, or do you?
Yeah, I do. I'm in a norteño band now, and there's what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4 of us in that band. And then sometimes when I'm playing in like a country band or a rock band, there'll be 3 or 4 musicians. And I can do a solo act too. I can play piano and things like that for when I play solo.
Do you prefer going slow or performing with other people, or is it kind of a mixture of both?
No, the truth is I like, the smaller the group, the more I like it. Large groups, it's hard to feel like everybody's playing the right thing or at the right time, because the more people you put in the mix, the harder it is to make it tight. But when there's only 1 or 2 or 3 people on a stage, it's real easy to get that tight. It's real easy to sound good because there's not so much going on.
Yeah, David told me that you give lessons.
Yeah, I'm a music teacher.
Yeah.
And
how's that?
well, I love doing that. That's such a fun job. You know, I have students from 5 years old to 65, 70-year-old. It doesn't matter to me. I'll teach anyone if they want to learn it.
Yeah.
And I can teach anything. I can teach piano, violin, guitar.
How do you incorporate your musical talents into your radio hosting?
Well, I think, you know, on the radio side of things, I won't play on the radio. I won't play my instrument or anything like that on the radio. Yet I have guests that come onto my radio show, and they'll play live music on my radio show and stuff. So I guess I don't know that I actually incorporate any of my talents in the show, other than, you know, I know a lot of history of different musicians and their paths, and you know, so when I'm playing songs, I can tell my audience, you know, this is so and so, and you know, they came up through this, you know, genre, or they came from here, or they moved on from bluegrass into rock or whatever, you know. I mean, so it's always cool to have information to leave the audience.
Cool. How did you become a radio host?
Well, it was a fluke.
Yeah.
Yeah, some guy had a show here in town, and I guess he was going to leave, and they didn't know anybody who wanted to take the show. And my friend was a jazz radio. He has a jazz show on that same station, and he called me and said, "Hey, there's going to be an opening for a radio host. Did you want to try for it?" And I said, "Sure, I'll try." You know, and I went down. The lady that hired me, she goes, "Oh yeah, go ahead. We'll put you on right away." And they just threw me to the dogs.
Did you ever get worried along the way that being a musician wasn't going to really get you like a steady job later on in life?
I thought about that a lot. You know, in my 20s, I played a lot of music, but I worked 20 hours a week in construction and stuff like that. So it was really hard. And I was in LA at that time, so there was a lot of music to make, but we weren't making a lot of money making it. So you had to have a job of some sort.
Yeah.
It never seemed like music was going to be a full-time job in those days.
Yeah. What advice would you give somebody that wants to make music into a career?
You know, I can tell you this, man, is if you want to make music your career, one of the things you should do is study music. You should know how to read it. You should be able to write it. You should be able to take the score and figure out things with it, read timing. If you're not that advanced, you're going to get stuck in local garage bands and stuff. If you want to be advanced, then you really need to work at it. That's what I say.
Cool. How has music helped form your worldview?
It has, well, let me think about that. As a music, what it's done for my worldview is it's allowed me to see so many different kinds of people, to work with different kinds of people and different attitudes, different everything, you know, and it's allowed me to explore different cultures because I love hearing music from other parts of the world, and it just opens up your whole world, you know. I mean, you get to see other cultures and how they incorporate their music into their lives, because some cultures music is more of a, you know, maybe a spiritual thing. In other cultures music is more for entertainment. So you get a big view of our world and how our world works through music.
Cool. I guess that's all the questions. Do you have anything else that you...
Anything else to add?
Yeah.
Let me think. Well, other than, I mean, I'm serious. If somebody wants to get into the music business, you don't have to start young, but you certainly should work hard at whatever it is you're going to do in that industry. There's so many facets to the industry. I mean, there's recording artists, there's recording engineers, there's instrumentalists, you know, people, there's studio musicians. You know, a person will come in and they'll hire up all these musicians to do their songs. So there's studio, there's live music, you know, then type music, you know, people come out with their equipment. There's so many facets to this industry. And then there's songwriters. So pick a place in that industry and start working at it. If you're going to be a songwriter, start writing. Doesn't matter if your song's good. You know, when you first start playing guitar or piano or violin, you play it whether it's good or not, if you're going to learn it. And same thing if you're going to write music. If you're going to write music, start writing. It may not be good at first, but you get better at what you do. Because writing is a skill like everything else. That's what I say.
Oh, well, thank you.
See how this machine flies, huh?
Yep.
Let me see. I'll probably play better standing up.
Yeah.
Me gotta go, me on my own. Me gotta go, me rolling on my own. So I'm gonna have me come on by you. There you go.
So there it is. Hopefully Benjy Rivas' story has inspired you to pursue your own dreams.